Hey, how is it going on, guys? Welcome back to more tech news. So, first up for today, as news reports, TSMC retains leadership in the foundry market as China's SMIC poised to overtake Samsung chip market share. As we all know, chip market is evolving very fast for quite some times now. TSMC holds strong while Samsung foundry loses ground as SMIC China chip manufacturer is gaining more market by every passing day, up to 6.0% to compete other manufacturers like Samsung. Now TSMC has long led the chip industry thanks to its rapid adoption of cutting edge technologies as the preferred foundry for major players like NVIDIA, Apple and AMD. Its revenue continues to soar. Meanwhile, rivals struggle to keep up, facing hurdles with the existing nodes and lagging in process innovation. A recent TrendForce report highlights Samsung Foundry's notable declining market share. This is the data shared by TrendForce suggests that in first quarter of 2025, TSMC's held 67.6% of the chip market, a slight rise from quarter 4 of 2024, reaffirming its dominance. This growth is fueled by surging AI demand, especially with NVIDIA leading the charge in large-scale hardware deals and Apple continuing as a key customer for TSMC along with AMD. TSMC shows no sign of slowing down, advancing in US expansion and next-gen N2 and A16 nodes which are set to boost revenue further. Meanwhile, Samsung Foundry's market share has dropped to 7.7% from 8.1% as it struggles with project setbacks and dwindling demand. SMIC is closing on Samsung, reaching a 6.0% share with strong domestic demand from firms like Huawei. It progress in 7nm technology and DUV tools highlight China's growing chip capabilities amid global competition. And then we have NVIDIA AIB partners who are rushing to bring NVIDIA GPU production to US before 9th of July 2025 tariff deadline date to lock in higher margins. And it looks like MSI and Gigabyte are now stockpiling the RTX 5090 before tariffs deadline, so that they may increase the margins that may benefit them a lot. And yeah, they are not about carrying customers at all. The game is about profits and margins. So recently US tariff changes have added supply chain uncertainty, prompting the manufacturers GPU makers included to maximize profit during a temporary policy window. Nikkei Asia reports Gigabyte and MSI are ramping up the RTX 5090 production ahead of possible tariff hike. MSI chairman Joseph said that the company is stockpiling inventory in the US after the Trump's tariff easing to meet demand. Gigabyte is also ramping up the production, sparking a race among NVIDIA's partners to boost profit before tariff rise again. But will this profit gamers? With a big question mark, who knows? Companies often use tough time to boost profits. As always, AIBs will likely hold inventory until after the July 9 deadline, then rise prices if no trade deal is reached, mirroring the GPU stockpiling seen before Trump took office. It will be entertaining to see if GPUs like the RTX 5090 become more available, but at what cost, or the customers will suffer once again. Next we have NVIDIA N1X news, and the report suggests that a surprise appearance of N1X on Geekbench that offers competitive performance through ARM cores. Now that's interesting because I was hearing a lot about NVIDIA and MediaTek both making processor and some news and rumors about it, but was not certain that they might do it. After all, it seems like the NVIDIA N1X, the first joint chip with MediaTek they made, is reached all the way to Geekbench, and we might have a first ever glimpse of N1 chip performance. NVIDIA skipped showing N1 CPUs at Computex, focusing instead on its DGX Spark with the GB10 superchip, but plans for mainstream budget-friendly CPUs are still in work. The NVIDIA N1X targets mainstream desktop with the same ARM core count as the GB10, and as per Geekbench leak via Orlac 29, unlike the powerful DGX Spark, it's designed for less demanding use, while the N1 variant is meant for a mobile lineup. And it looks like NVIDIA N1X scores over 3096 in single core and 18837 in multi-core in Geekbench, signaling strong competition for mainstream CPUs. Initial guesses put the N1X at 8 to 12 cores, but it's now believed to be a GB10 variant with 10 Cortex-X 925 and 10 Cortex-A725 cores and 20 threads tested in the HP system with Ubuntu 24.041 LTS and with up to 128 GB of RAM, and it's clocked to up to 2.8 GHz base clock and 4 GHz boost with scoring of 3096 in single core and 18000 in multi-core Geekbench. Note that Geekbench 6 results can vary significantly between runs. However, the N1X first benchmark shows it's holding its own against current gen AMD and Intel CPUs with scores comparable to Core Ultra 2 and Zen 5 based Strix Helio chips, an impressive debut. While NVIDIA hasn't talked much about the N1 series yet, but be ready to witness such a benchmark in the coming leaks or rumors. One would expect the NVIDIA will unveil these in the couple of months, but it's unlikely that NVIDIA N1 series is going to be released this year. Last up for today is Samsung's 3GB GDDR7 memory module spotted for sale in China, suggesting upcoming NVIDIA GPUs may feature increased memory capacity. As we have seen only a laptop RTX 5090 that is equipped with a 3GB memory module, but now we may see it in desktop lineup too. As it's no surprise, Samsung 3GB module is already exist, but this time we are hoping that NVIDIA may use it in RTX 50 Super Series lineup graphics card, as one of the strongest indication is the availability of Samsung's 3GB GDDR7 module on Chinese retailer as spotted by Unico's hardware. The 3GB module go by the 64VCF325ZC-SC28, while the 2GB module go by the 64VAF325ZC. Now this K4VCF module also appear in the NVIDIA's official RTX 5090 video, which suggests that the NVIDIA RTX 5090 may get an upgrade with the 3GB module as well. Currently, the RTX 5090 already brings the highest VRAM capacity in the entire GeForce lineup. However, with the transitioning from 2GB to 3GB modules, we may see a 48GB RTX 5090 card, as Unico's hardware suggests in the near future. It's totally possible, but it's more exciting to think that NVIDIA might upgrade the VRAM capacity of other slower RTX 50 GPUs such as RTX 5080, 5070 and 5060. The RTX 5060 will particularly benefit incredibly with the 3GB modules, as it only offers 8GB VRAM capacity. Going from 3GB to 12GB will increase its appeal, but I'm not sure that whether NVIDIA has any plans to upgrade its memory. The same could be possible on the RTX 5060 Ti. One of the recent reporters also suggests that NVIDIA is going to release the RTX 5080 Super this year with 24GB of VRAM, which is an 8GB upgrade over the original RTX 5080. So yeah guys, let's hope NVIDIA does upgrade their memory module from 2GB to 3GB. But rather than that, that's it for today guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.